Hello, hello. Where's audio? Hello, hello. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Skylar. Can you guys hear me? Sounds good? Okay. Cool. I'll be at King's Dominion on my birthday, Saturday, February 11th. Awesome. Not too far from now. Just short of a month. That'll be awesome, Skylar. Do you live in the area? Here, do you guys like this angle? Or maybe something like that a little bit better. Hold on. All up in my face. Hold on. Gotta move the mic stand. Move that back. So, there we go. North Chesterfield. My now lives in King William County in Enrico. Very nice. But still in Virginia, right? Josh! Aren't you supposed to be working? All right, so today, just an FYI, we're starting off a little bit early because, as you guys know, I like to test out the audio, make sure everything is good before we take off. But you know, I should learn how to create one of those like waiting screens. It's just difficult. All right, so let's change the chat, live chat. All right, for the most part, I think we got everything down. Let's see here. Also, I hit 1,000 subscribers and couldn't go to Winterfest because if the 9 degree because if the 9 degree temperatures on the 23rd last year. Oh yeah. But you know, right now they still have kind of like their winter weekends, which is almost like a mini Winterfest without some of the Winterfest festivities. But you can still go to the park. Brittany, how have you been? Mm-mm. Going to Kings Dominion for the first weekend of what, February? Yeah, we were supposed to go out to Busch Gardens to check out Mac Tower before it closed, or for the last day. We were going that Sunday, but unfortunately, due to weather, Busch Gardens closed, and they still closed down the ride. So we didn't get to ride it one last time. But that was supposed to be one of the videos, riding Mac Tower for one last time. Beginning of February will be a good time. Hopefully, the weather doesn't get bad, because January and February are typically our times in this area, which I don't know. Brittany, are you from Northern Virginia? When it could snow, be really cold, but who knows? And Skylar, congrats on 1,000 subscribers. Skylar, you gotta send me your YouTube. I'm not sure if I follow. Yeah, Coaster Studios did get to go. Um, Unfortunately, I didn't get to go, even though I had planned. I was leaving that morning. I woke up early so I could leave to Williamsburg, which is about 2.5 hours away. Um, and then they said that they were going to be opening at 4, so I waited. And then as they got closer to 4, soon before 4 o'clock, they ended up saying they weren't even going to open. Okay, so Brittany, you know about the weather around here. Um, Williamsburg is probably worse at times. Mm-mm-mm. You film ceiling fans. Interesting. Yeah, a couple people suggested Six Flags, and it's not that far from me. It's about the same distance as maybe Busch Gardens. So I have been meaning to go. I just haven't gone. So that's probably something that we'll be talking about today. Just waiting for everybody to get on. Those of you who are already on, I see there's a couple of you. Thanks for jumping on early. We still got about 10 minutes before we officially start, because I had scheduled this for 8 o'clock, and I don't like to start too early. At least not the meat of the information. Um, but we're gonna talk today about everything that we have planned, everything that's going on in the theme park and travel area, which is what we do here on the channel. I'm sure some of you know. Um, we'll see how the conversation goes. If you guys have questions about anything, I want to talk about anything in particular, we've done some videos recently about some pretty cool developments in the theme park world, specifically Universal. Um, and we'll take it from there. Film our GoPro strapped to my head. Let's see, Skylar. I'm gonna see if I can look up your channel while we're waiting. I found you. You weren't lying. You do ceiling fans. A lot of ceiling fans. Looks like you've been doing this for a while too. Well, it's cool that you hit 1,000 subscribers. Anybody catch the recent videos that we posted on the channel? We had the one for the announcement that Universal Studios had, or Universal Park and Resorts had for their 2 new expansions, which is huge news. They got one going to Texas, and then the other is going to Las Vegas. The Texas one is going to be a theme park. You know, they haven't called it a new gate, but it's going to be a theme park based on what looks like DreamWorks and a couple other more kid-friendly type of IP, intellectual properties. I'm excited for that one. My parents live in Texas. The park's going to be in Dallas, or just outside of Dallas. Let's see. And then the Vegas offering is going to be I think it was like 11,000 square foot or 100 and something thousand square foot. I forget. I would have to go back through the video and see all my notes, but it's crazy. It's basically a year-round Halloween Horror Nights, or I don't think it's going to be an actual year-round Halloween Horror Nights, but a haunt experience year-round, which I'm sure is going to be promoting Halloween Horror Nights, but it's going to be different since it's year-round. All right, guys, we got 6 minutes before we start everything officially. We're going to start talking about everywhere we plan to visit in the new year, 2023, which we are currently in. We've already done some visits to King's Dominion. Still have to make our way out to Busch Gardens for our first time for the new year. But we'll see, and we'll talk more about what's coming up. A couple trips to Universal, maybe add some Disney, and then add some new parks for sure. Did you hear about the new Riptide Racer at Water Country? Water Country USA? Yeah. So I know that Busch Gardens and Water Country USA both have new rides for the 2023 season. Dark Coaster being one of them. And then I guess it's called Rapid Racers. I didn't know, or I didn't have the name in mind. But last year, man, we went to Water Country USA for the first time ever. And I got to say, that was a pretty impressive water park. Yep, I saw the video that King's Dominion posted about Gravity Group doing the retracking for Grizzly, so that's one that we're looking forward to very soon. And hopefully King's Dominion does some type of, like cool media event where we could go and capture it for you guys in advance, give you some exclusive behind the scenes, maybe some interviews about what went into the retracking. That'd be super cool. And guys, while you're at it, while we're waiting, we still got 3 minutes before we start. If you could go ahead and make sure that you like the video. If you haven't already, which I think everybody here has subscribe as well. I just have a few asks, when I'm making these videos, that I'm going out there and getting the content for you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Make sure that you're checking out all the content. Share it if you can. if you know anybody that would enjoy the content, make sure to pass that along. When I go to Universal Studios, the Universal content, although that is where this channel started, it's kind of dropped off from there and mixed in a lot of other things. Universal is kind of like the heart of what got me started. It no longer is the main focus of the channel. The channel has so much more going on right now. King's Dominion, Busch Gardens, overall, travel, theme parks, cruises, hotel reviews. Hotel reviews have actually done very well for us, and I'm glad that we could do those and help give some perspective and help people plan for when they're headed there. But we do other things like, food at the park, things to drink at the park. I recently did a video for Universal Vacations, how to your guide for adult beverages at Universal Studios. Make sure to check all those out. Really helps a lot when you like, comment, and subscribe on any video that I put out. The support goes a really long way, and it helps me keep the content coming. Do you get any of the park maps when you go to the theme parks? I do get the Halloween Horror Nights ones, and I have some old ones. Actually, since you asked, I'll show you. So these are some of my collection of Halloween Horror Nights maps. I have Alice Cooper, which was HHN 22. HHN 30, nice and crisp. This one's in really good condition. Which one's this one? This is, what Halloween Horror Nights is this? I think this is HHN 28, which had Halloween, Poltergeist, and Stranger Things. This is HHN 27. HHN 26. And it looks like another 28 map, but this one is in a little rough shape. Losh TV, Adrian, what's up, my friend? We're just getting ready to start, and somebody asked me if I collected any of the park maps, and by coincidence, my Halloween Horror Nights collection of park maps throughout the year, or not park maps, event maps throughout the year, was right next to me, so I decided to show that to everybody. I know Adrian. If you guys don't know Adrian, he's one of the Boo Bros. His channel, Losh TV. Go check him out. Does a lot of Universal and Halloween Horror Nights content throughout the year. All right, guys, so let's get started. So the channel had an amazing year last year, 2022, and 2021. 2021 was kind of when we started hitting our stride. The following started growing. We started kind of hitting our niche as far as parks where there was an audience that would embrace us a little bit more. King's Dominion, Busch Gardens here in Northern Virginia were some of the parks that really helped grow the channel a ton in recent years. But as you guys know, we always mix in all different types of parks. We've been to Cedar Point. We've been to Carowinds. We look to add additional parks this year, but we've been to Disney, Universal, both Universal parks. We've been to Volcano Bay. So a lot has been going on the channel, and we're looking to do a lot more in 2023. With your help, hopefully I could continue to grow the channel. This year, the goal is to hopefully get myself past 5,000 subscribers. We're currently on our way to 2,000. Oh no, we're on our way to 3,000. My bad. We're on our way to 3,000. So we're just a little shy of maybe about 2,500 subscribers before we get to 5,000. Which is amazing. It's crazy. I never thought we'd make it this far. So I decided, I haven't done a live stream in a while, and I think for a lot of you guys appreciate the live stream. You like jumping on, having conversation, chatting, asking me questions. I try to do live streams of different times and seasons, kind of giving you an idea of what we're doing for that particular quarter of the year or half of the year, whatever it may be. I typically do the haunt live stream, and I do the winter live stream talking about everything going on for those seasons. But now we're going to be doing a live stream for the year. Give you guys a broad idea. There's a lot of things that are going to remain the same, a lot of places that we're going to visit that we always visit, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. I think you guys have, but also a lot of places that we want to add. So let's start off by first knocking off the things that we will be visiting and have visited in the past, but always continually change, which are a bunch of the events. So as you guys know, I was just showing you the maps for Halloween Horror Nights events that I've collected throughout the years. We got some old ones. The Alice Cooper one is probably my oldest one that I have that I could find, which is 2022. And unfortunately, this one's folded. That's kind of annoying, but I've kept it in decent condition. The rest of them are in fairly good condition, but this is one of the events that we make sure that we visit every single year. Halloween Horror Nights is near and dear to me. It's kind of what started this channel. Our first video on this channel was actually the history of Halloween Horror Nights. So if you guys are wondering, what Halloween Horror Nights is, you're not sure what I'm talking about, you know that it's a haunt event and you want to learn a little bit more about it, make sure to check out that video. It's the first video I ever did, which is semi-cringe. I wasn't very comfortable behind a camera talking to you guys the way that I am today. I think I've grown a lot, or maybe I don't know. But that video actually does have a lot of content of where the event came from, how it started. It wasn't always called Halloween Horror Nights. The first year was actually called something else. And where it's moved along the way, some of the history with the icons and whatnot. But this year we will be going back to Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights starts in September and runs through the end of October, sometimes into early November. That is probably the premier Halloween event in the nation and probably the world. Halloween Horror Nights is all the way in Japan as well. So that being said, the haunt season is far away, but there's There's King's Dominion's haunt that we'll be going to, as well as Busch Gardens for their Howl Scream. This year we hope to add also additional haunts. King's Dominion is owned by Cedar Fair. Cedar Fair has multiple parks that actually host the haunt event. My understanding is the haunt event over at King's Dominion is actually one of the best that they have. But I look forward to checking out some of the other ones, maybe going to Cedar Point, Kings Island, which is the big brother park to King's Dominion. Heading back out to Carowinds, and then adding a couple other parks. Hershey Park was one that last year, unfortunately, we missed. We did get an invite to go check it out for their first year of their haunt, and unfortunately, we weren't able to make it out. I don't know if some of you guys know, but I had a kid last year, so we got to plan things a little bit more far in advance and a little bit better, a little bit more structured. So we're hoping to do that this year more effectively so that we could bring you guys continued content. I'm going to take a look and see. I don't know what you're talking about, but I saw that you said, what a blessing. Just out and about. Welcome. It's probably Don. Don, how's it going? Steeler Wayne, my man, welcome to the live stream. Welcome everybody to the live stream. I see we have about 10 people right now that are viewing live. I appreciate you guys all for jumping on. It's exciting to share what's going to go into the 2023 season. We're going to work really hard to make sure that the channel continues to grow. You guys are a great community. I've really enjoyed, interacting with you guys here on the live streams as well as in the parks. When I run into you guys in the parks, hopefully all of you guys have had a great experience. I don't think that I've ever had a negative interaction with any of my viewers, and I always try to give back, give some of my buttons, which if you guys haven't seen them, I carry them around with me. Sometimes I don't have them on me, and I have to get like refills, but I typically am carrying one of these guys around with me. A little token of gratitude, and also for people who haven't seen my channel, it has a QR code to make it easy to search Edutainment, because Edutainment is actually a fairly long name and hard to spell on the spot. Now, let's see. BGW fan Randy. Randy, how's it going, sir? Let's see, guys. Hold on. The park maps I have are Cedar Point. Thank you, Skylar. Six Flags America. Yes, Don. Everything is going spectacular. I'm blessed, and I hope all you guys feel the same. Wayne, we're gonna do everything we can to get as much as we can on the channel. We've started off to a decent start. If you guys haven't seen, we do have some recent videos, which if you haven't seen, please go check those out. I put a lot of time and effort into the recent videos that cover Universal Studios. We did the Universal Park and Resort announcements for major expansions, which, guys, that blew my mind when that came out. The Universal announcements for their park over at Texas, which is going to be like a more kid-friendly park, which is exciting. I just had a son, so I'm excited that I'm going to be able to take him to a park which is predominantly focused on kids, and families. If you go to Universal Studios does have its kids zones, but there's a lot of rides that I enjoy riding that my son isn't going to be able to ride for a while. So going to a park where all the rides can be ridden by all families is going to be awesome. Also, they're going to do their expansion over at Las Vegas for their year-round haunt event, which is going to be more than likely an extension of Halloween Horror Nights. All amazing things. But obviously, these things aren't coming to 2023, but cool announcements that have been made to start off 2023. In addition to that, we also put out a recent video. I called it Cheers to a Vacation, a guide to adult beverages at Universal Orlando Resort. So if you're a grown-up, you're an adult, you enjoy drinking your libations, this is a way that you guys could plan to enjoy your trip a little bit better. You need a nice drink to cool down in the heat. Also, if you're out with the kids and you need a little bit of a de-stressor, this may be the best guide to check out some of the best drink offerings that they have over at Universal Orlando Resort. So make sure to check that out. Let me take a quick pause, look over the chat. Don, look at everybody interacting. We got Mike. What's up, Eddie? We wore our pins to King's Dominion all through Winterfest. My niece, Gigi, I remember meeting you guys. Won't leave home without it. Oh, that's awesome. That warms my heart. Thank you so much. I really appreciate meeting you guys, Mike. And I'm glad you guys enjoy your pins. It's a small token of appreciation that I offer to people who stop me and say hi. I don't always have them on me. I try to keep as many as I can on me, but they do run out. Luckily enough, I do my best to give them out as frequently as possible. So I'm constantly reordering them in like the like hundreds. But that being said, to start off, we've already been to King's Dominion this year. King's Dominion has a lot of things going on, which I think in the short term, King's Dominion is probably going to be one of the parks that we end up going to the most and covering some of the events. But the next probably big event that I enjoy a lot at the parks is Mardi Gras. Both Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and Universal Studios are going to be celebrating their Mardi Gras starting February. Busch Gardens is going to be starting January 27th. So this month. And that's when they reopen as well, because they've been closed since the first weekend. And we look forward to checking out Mardi Gras over there. They're going to have their like drinks, food, their mini parade. I think they're gonna have at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And to my understanding, or my memory, I don't remember that Busch Gardens Williamsburg ever had a parade, but I think I saw somewhere something about a mini parade. King's Dominion is open all this month, which is something that it's never done before. And I've been to the park now several times already. Actually, I think on my app, I've been to the park now 3 times, and we're only on the 18th. So it's an awesome feeling to have now parks that are open year round near to me. Before, when I first started this channel, this would be like the dead zone. Busch Gardens and King's Dominion would both be closed. And now they're open, which means more content that I could share with you guys. Beth Mills. Hey, Beth. Always a big supporter of the channel. Welcome to the live stream. We got Dawn. Looking forward to Mardi Gras again at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Hope it's even bigger this year. Yeah, no, it sounds like it may be. And now that Busch Gardens has a couple other things going for it, they have their new ride that's opening up. They have a ride that's closing, and apparently some type of food establishment is going to be replacing Mock Tower. We got a lot to cover. And they also have their Burgermeister Hideaway, which is their speakeasy, which will be rethemed throughout these seasons. So you may be able to get yourself a Mardi Gras speakeasy experience come the end of this month, early February as well. But we're looking forward to checking out Mardi Gras. we have a trip planned for Universal Studios for their Mardi Gras. For those of you who don't know, Universal has had, outside of the big announcements that they've also had some small announcements over at Universal Studios this year for their Mardi Gras. The typical tribute store location is no longer. I believe the ride next to it, which is the Revenge of the Mummy, is finally going to be opening up and getting past its rehearsals, and that's part of the extended queue, which they're going to need because that is a very popular ride. And they're going to be moving the tribute store over to Hollywood in Universal Studios. If you're familiar with Universal Studios, Hollywood area is over where the Bourne Identity is, where the Williams of Hollywood used to be, and over there, where the Williams of Hollywood used to be is right by, I believe it's called Schwab's Pharmacy. That's where the new tribute store is going to be. So we look forward to bringing you guys along to go check out some of the food, the parade, the performers over at Universal Studios Mardi Gras, as well as that tribute store. On the channel, we've covered the tribute store over and over. It's one of my guilty pleasures, doing small videos covering the tribute store. I always do like a little montage video of all the tribute stores. You could actually go back on my channel and see probably about like the past like 8 or 9 tribute stores consecutively. And then once we're done with that, we will have done Busch Gardens Williamsburg already for their Mardi Gras at the end of this month. Universal doesn't start their Mardi Gras up till February 4th to be specific. Universal for their Mardi Gras will also have a huge lineup for concerts. Last year, unfortunately, I canceled my trip to see Marshmello. I did go for Mardi Gras last year in the beginning of the Mardi Gras. As Mardi Gras progresses every year or every weekend, they'll have live performers. Last year they had LL Cool J, they had Marshmello. So super cool. I wanted to go see Marshmello, but unfortunately I canceled the trip and didn't go see Marshmello because it was my nephew's birthday here. So we ended up staying to celebrate his birthday here. And I really hate that I missed Marshmello because he didn't come back this year. But I believe in the lineup, Three Doors Down is one of the bands that's going to be there. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Three Doors Down, but Patti LaBelle, let's see, we'll pull up here and talk about it live just because I'm super excited about Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras, at least for me, is probably my second favorite time of the year. I love Winterfest and I love Christmastown over at Busch Gardens, but Mardi Gras is probably my second favorite time of the year because you could go to a park like Universal Studios and enjoy it without those large crowds. It's really a sweet time at the parks, and even at Busch Gardens, even at King's Dominion for their events, it's a real nice time. What are the events? Park hours. They don't have their events on the app, do they? Nope. Featured attractions. Nope. Oh, well, that's fine. But if you don't know who Three Doors Down is, Three Doors Down is the band who sings Kryptonite. And I'm tempted to sing a line in case you guys don't know what song that is, but I'm going to hold back and not. But if you guys don't know what song that is, definitely check it out. It's super cool song, super cool band. They've been around for a while, kind of showing my age, but we might go back to check them out for that weekend. So right there, we're already talking about King's Dominion for the next couple of weekends. While we're waiting for King's Dominion to come up with an event, Mardi Gras over at Busch Gardens, the 27th of this month, as well as Mardi Gras over at Universal Studios. I'm not sure if I'm going for the opening weekend of Mardi Gras any longer. I did have that planned, but we might push that out for a little bit just because I have some friends that want to go as well. So we're probably going to coordinate together. It'll be a little bit cheaper too, since we coordinate and we typically stay on site to split it with 2 other people. I'll be going with 2 friends. But if I don't end up going the weekend of Three Doors Down, I'll probably return for that weekend just to go see them. One of my friends is having her birthday on the opening weekend of Mardi Gras at Busch Gardens. Very excited to check it out. Ooh, that's awesome, Steeler. I may just see you out there. I'll probably be vlogging, so say hi if you see me. I think you and I have only ran into each other one time, and it was on the bridge crossing it to Oktoberfest at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So I remember clearly meeting you, and it was awesome. We took a picture together, and I believe I gave you a button. I hope I did. Let's see. Beth Mills, thank you, and looking forward to more streams. I'll try my best, Beth. I know I had a moment in time there where the streams were almost a weekly thing, but time is of the essence lately. I don't have as much on my hands, mostly when I'm trying to prepare. You guys can't see my studio right now, but it's a little bit of a mess. I hope I tidied it up enough that you guys can't notice the mess. But we are going to make the most of our time and get this year's content coming out as quickly as possible for you guys. But I intend to also make very quality videos, not just going to the park and vlogging, going to the park and vlogging. I hope to make my trips that help you guys plan your vacation. So if you've been around on the channel for a while, you probably will notice that in the beginning, my videos were more just, first time at Busch Gardens or here for Mardi Gras. Now my videos have evolved a little bit, or at least I've tried to evolve my videos because I think they're more useful to you guys and more engaging when I do how to enjoy Mardi Gras or your guide to Mardi Gras over at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, kind of giving you some insight on how to make the most of your trip. And sorry, I'm getting a little bit winded and parched. I don't know if anybody has a Yeti, but I now have like a collection of these. We have like a family collection because Monique has some and I have some. I love these cups. I use them like every single day. They keep your drinks nice and cool or hot if you're drinking coffee. And they're semi-collectible. They kind of like hold their value if you get like certain colors that are limited releases. Off topic. All right, let's read a little bit more of these comments here. Once again, thank you guys all for jumping on to talk about this year's festivities. It looks like we have about 10 of you guys on here. Really do appreciate it. Love chatting with you guys. That's why I'm going to stop really quick and check out the chat. Did you see the picture of Busch Gardens Williamsburg taking down Mock Tower? No, I haven't seen that picture. I got to check that out. I was actually really sad because I was going to be there the last day of Mock Tower, and that was going to be my video for the channel, but they ended up closing due to inclement weather, so we missed out on that. Before King's Dominion announced the year round, I go to King's Dominion and I used to go to Dave & Buster's. There's a Dave & Buster's by King's Dominion? I didn't know that. Love them. It's not my time, and do it. It's not my time, and do it. All right. Beth, you're going to have to tell me what you're referencing there because I'm not too sure. Do it. It reminds me of Starsky and Hutch. I heard Chick-fil-A is leaving King's Dominion in 2023. What kind of restaurant do you think they'll replace it with? So King's Dominion has already closed their Chick-fil-A. So it closed last year. So this year, if you go into the park, it's already gone. I've been a couple times. Chef Dennis, who is the head chef over at King's Dominion, does an amazing job with the cuisine. So I don't know exactly what's going to go into that space, but I'm confident that it's going to be something good. They've been improving their food exponentially throughout the seasons. I think there's still much more space for them to grow. They have a lot of park. The park's pretty big and has a lot of food locations. But, and by the way, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. If you do, I post on there when I'm at the parks and sometimes am not filming. I was at King's Dominion recently with my friend Clint Novak. I'm not sure if you guys know him. He also does videos over at King's Dominion. His channel is Happily Ever Novak. It was his birthday. We were celebrating his birthday over at King's Dominion. I didn't film, but I did post some pictures of my first time eating at I think it's called like Border Burritos or something like that, which is at the entrance of King's Dominion. That place is actually spectacular. It's like a Chipotle inside the park. And if you have a dining plan, it's well worth it because it's a hefty meal and it comes with chips. I think I lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah. What's going to be replacing King's Dominion? Or not King's Dominion. Nothing replaces King's Dominion, by the way. What's going to be replacing Chick-fil-A at King's Dominion? I think it's going to be a restaurant establishment, something custom King's Dominion style, kind of like their new taco stand and country kitchen, something unique to them. And Chef Dennis will do an amazing job of creating the menu. Yeah, that was during the Food and Wine Festival. We'll have to get a button next time I see you. Oh, Wayne, I didn't give you a button. I'm so sorry, man. I'll definitely give you a button next time I see you. And hopefully it's for the opening weekend of Mardi Gras over at Busch Gardens. Then do it. Meant to you singing the song. Oh, Kryptonite? Oh. So 3 Doors Down, we were talking about 3 Doors Down. It's going to be at Universal Studios for their Mardi Gras one of the weekends, and they're going to have several different concerts throughout Mardi Gras on the weekends. For you, Beth, Kryptonite is if you guys don't know who 3 Doors Down is and the song Kryptonite, it's the one song, if I go crazy, will you still call me Superman? If I go out my mind, will you? All right, that's it. That's enough. No, I feel like I'm out of my element. I can only sing in the car or in the shower when nobody's paying attention. And I'm really good at it in those moments. But when people start watching, I'm like the invisible guy in that one movie where Ben Stiller was only invisible when people weren't looking. Mystery Men, I think it was called. Oh, man. Showing my age again. Airtime Mike. Mike, what's up, man? I feel like last time I saw you was Haunt, and it was packed, and it was crazy at King's Dominion, but man, was it a good time. Just out and about. Hugo is going in at Carowinds where Chick-fil-A was. Wonder if King's Dominion will get a Hugo's. I'm not familiar with what Hugo's is. I'm not sure if that's a North Carolina or South Carolina thing, but maybe. I've never heard of Hugo's. But I will say I've only heard things. I don't have any confirmed information, but I have heard that it's going to be a unique restaurant. Not bad though. Thanks, Beth. I won't cry later tonight for singing in public. Just kidding. So we have Busch Gardens Mardi Gras. We have Universal Mardi Gras, which are two of the events that we will be doing early. Well, it's one event, but at two different parks that we'll be doing early this year, as well as visiting King's Dominion as much as we possibly can. Also preparing for King's Dominion reopening their Jungle Expedition. We'll be doing some videos as soon as we know when the official date for Jungle Expedition's reopening is. I'm super excited to see what's going to be going on there because Jungle Expedition should be having some updates done and some work done because for those of you who don't know, Jungle Expedition is not done. There's still stages that they have to go through. They're going to be transitioning some of those rides in there. I think I-305, Backlot Stunt Coaster, and I forget what the other one is. I think it was formerly called Outer Limits, but it's changed. All those rides need to conform to the new area. Anaconda obviously already fits in, but I think that one might be going regardless. So I'm looking forward to keeping you guys updated with that. That's going to be some content that for sure is coming to the park. Just updates throughout the year of King's Dominion and what they have going. Next is probably sometime around like March, April time. We're going to be having over at the parks their St. Patty's. There we go. Sorry, it was escaping me. St. Patty's. Flight of Fear. Thank you, Steal Away. Flight of Fear. There we go. All those rides are going to have to be rethemed over at Jungle Expedition, and we'll keep you guys updated. I'm not sure if the rides will be rethemed this year, but I know that that's part of the stages of the changes that are coming to Jungle Expedition. But after Mardi Gras, we have the Pew 2. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for jumping on. I'm sure you know by the title, we're talking about things that are coming to the channel, places that we look to visit, and just overall talking about, what's going on in the parks for 2023. For those of you who don't know who the Pew2 is, you've been hiding under a rock. Those guys are amazing, great friends of mine. Love going to visit them over in Orlando now, where they have moved to. But their content's spectacular. Make sure to go check them out. But like I was saying, St. Patty's Day or St. Patty's event will be the next one. Busch Gardens does a great job with their St. Patty's event. Last year we went, tried out all the different like green beer and food that they have. It does tend to be cold still here around that time. I'm crossing my fingers that we don't have a bad winter this year, because obviously that has an impact on the content that we create in this area. Rides won't open if it's below 40 degrees in most parks. So I'm hoping that we have a mild winter, so that things like Grizzly, the cool thing is we do have a ride coming to Busch Gardens, Dark Coaster. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure everybody here knows, but Dark Coaster will be an indoor coaster. So we will be able to ride that year round without having to worry about the weather. But that may lead to pretty long lines if it's ever cold outside. But before we get to Dark Coaster, because that's something that I think will be coming just short of the mid-year, is going to be Grizzly reopening. And I see Steeler Wayne talking about it. Looking forward to the ride. Grizzly, once Gravity Group gets done with the retracking. So as Steeler Wayne is saying in the chat, Gravity Group is currently working on retracking Grizzly. We've done some coverage on the channel of Grizzly when it first started to get taken apart, and no announcements had been made at the time. So we kind of were ahead of the curve on that one. But now it's been official. The ride is getting a retracking. It's getting a refurb. So come the reopening, it should be a lot smoother. I'm assuming they should have everything done by probably late spring, maybe early summertime. But fingers crossed, when that occurs, the park does some type of media event where we could go and get an inside behind the scenes look of what went into it, maybe some interviews with some of the people that had some workings on Grizzly, or maybe some of the planning, so that we could let you guys know what went into it, give you a first-hand review of the ride. I know some of you guys don't necessarily live here, or it's not the most convenient travel to go to Kings Dominion. Kings Dominion for me is only about like 30 minutes away from my home. So we'll make sure to cover that. I'm excited about Grizzly reopening. That's a ride that I hadn't ridden in a really long time because it was a bit of a rough one. But with the retracking from Gravity Group, we should be looking at a much smoother, much nicer ride, and we could start to enjoy Grizzly all over again. And if you haven't ever been to Kings Dominion, which I'm assuming a lot of you have, Kings Dominion is amazing for its terrain, and Grizzly is a ride that is covered in forest. Notably so, because it's a grizzly bear lives in the forest, and that coaster is completely consumed by the forest. If you get on top of the Eiffel Tower and look down, it's hard to see all the track on Grizzly because of the landscape around it. From there, come summertime is mine and Monique's birthday. And typically when it comes around that time, Universal is my home away from home. We'll probably be heading to Orlando for the summertime. I'm an annual pass holder, so whenever I'm in Orlando, Universal is an automatic stop. But last year we went to Discovery Cove, and we look forward to going back this year, hopefully in the summer. Last year when we went, I think it was like early spring, and it was actually freezing to walk around. But this year we hope to get it nice and warm. Universal Studios during the summertime could be pretty hot, pretty busy. So Discovery Cove is the option that we're probably going to be making more often than not, or just water parks in general. So we need to go back and revisit Volcano Bay. It's been a really long time since we've done Blizzard Beach, and we've actually never done Blizzard Beach on the channel. Also, Typhoon Lagoon. Those are 3 water parks that we've done, 2 of which we've never done on the channel, that we are looking to bring into the channel this year. It's in the planning. I need to sit down and get my calendar down for the first 6 months of the year of what I'm going to be able to do. What can I book in advance so that we guarantee that these things come to the channel. And also, I keep saying come to the channel, but we do love to experience these things. So a lot of it is for our experience, but while we're there experiencing and having fun, we like to bring you guys along. We like to give you guys some inside knowledge as to how the experience went for us and how maybe you can make it better. And if it's something like Universal, Kings Dominion, or Busch Gardens, which we've been going to frequently, give you some insights on how we prepare for these trips, because we already know how to make the most of it, how to travel through the parks and whatnot. So that's kind of summertime. And this year, I hope to go back to my roots a little bit as far as like where the channel came from, come June, July, and August. Last year, I kind of veered away from it, and it kind of felt like a void. I did do a lot of videos last year. I was pumping out about 2 videos a week, sometimes 3. So every single month we were doing around anywhere from 8 plus videos a month, which, it's pretty time consuming, but it was also very exciting. I was enjoying the creation process, keeping myself on my toes, pushing myself out of my comfort zone to continue to produce content for you guys. But one thing that I used to do in the beginning of my channel was I would do a lot more Halloween Horror Nights speculation videos. So although I don't look to do Halloween Horror Nights speculation as frequently as I used to, because it used to be basically all I did throughout the year, I look to sprinkle that in a little bit more throughout the summertime. Maybe 1 video a month or 2 videos a month focused on Halloween Horror Nights speculation that's going on and preparedness for the event. It's probably going to be a lot more of that than necessarily speculation, because like I said, I've tried to transition the channel a little bit more to valuable content, not just talking about or vlogging something just because I'm there. More doing the video surrounding a particular topic or a how-to or a guide type of thing. So we'll be doing some guides to Halloween Horror Nights, getting back to our roots. Like I said, our first video is the history of Halloween Horror Nights, and our first probably like 50 videos were probably like 80% Halloween Horror Nights. So get back to some of that. We always do cover Halloween Horror Nights when it comes haunt season. Haunt season, as some of you know, starts in September. So we're kind of getting to the second half of the year here. Come September, we'll be definitely planning a trip to Halloween Horror Nights. This year, though, I do plan to make my trip. So typically I do my trips Wednesday to Wednesday or Wednesday to Tuesday, just because those are great days to travel as far as value when it comes to tickets, hotels, all that fun stuff. But this year, I hope to do the first 2 weekends of Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm looking to do maybe a Friday to the following Sunday, so I could experience the first 2 weekends, provide you guys a little bit more content revolving that particular event. And as you guys know, shortly after Halloween Horror Nights starts up, we start the haunt season over here at Northern Virginia. Hold on. Sorry, something popped up on my screen. And Skylar fans and more, if you do go to King's Dominion on the day of my birthday, can me and you ride Dominator together? Skylar, if I'm there, come up to me, and whatever I'm doing, I will stop. I will stop filming to ride Dominator with you for your birthday, man. I appreciate your support. You've been coming on my live streams, commenting on my videos for a really long time. So the least I could do is go ahead and ride Dominator with you. The Pew 2, you crushed it. Did I? Thank you. I'm trying my best. You guys are crushing it over there at the Pew 2. But so starting the second half of the year, it's haunt season. Okay. We got, of course, Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. We got Busch Gardens Howl Scream, and we have King's Dominion Haunt. A lot of people have been commenting that they want me to go Six Flags America. I've been to Six Flags America. I've just never been to Six Flags America on the channel. I know that their event is different. It's been a really long time since I've been to a Six Flags park just in general. But I look to add that to the channel this year. So maybe throughout the early half of the year when they reopen, because they aren't a year-round park, they're closed right now. We'll do our first visit. Maybe try to do some videos talking about how to prepare for Six Flags, or what are the six best rides or the can't miss rides over at Six Flags. But we look to add that to our haunt season. I look to add Carowinds as well to my haunt season, as well as Cedar Point. Now, this sounds like a lot of things. So, of course, things don't always go as planned, but these are the plans for 2023. Hopefully, we are able to do the majority of the things that we're planning for. But that's the reason why we plan, so that we could hopefully do as much of it as possible. And as the year comes along, in the comments today, if you guys have any recommendations, there's a couple other parks that I do want to visit as well. Monique actually was telling me recently that she does want to go to Dollywood really badly. I want to go to Dollywood so bad. So that's another one that we don't have a specific plan for, but we look to fit that into the year, hopefully, at some point. There's also some parks over on the West Coast. I've been saying this for years now. Haunt season comes around, or in preparation for haunt season, I'm going to try to go to Hollywood. I want to so bad. And it's not a thing that I think that the Hollywood event is better. I most certainly believe that Orlando is the much better event, but it's one of those things where I want to go visit the Hollywood event. I want to go visit the event in Japan, just to be able to say that I've experienced them all, as well as kind of get to know the differences between the parks. I've never been to Universal Studios over at Hollywood, so that's another thing. I've been kicking or killing two birds with one stone if I go to Universal in Hollywood during the haunt season, as well as I'm a Platinum Pass holder with Cedar Fair. So this year we don't have all the parks planned that we want to go visit, but I'm going to try to mix in as many small weekend trips to any Cedar Fair park that I could fit in, one of them being Knott's Berry Farm. So if we end up doing a Hollywood trip, we're really going to be knocking out like 4 birds with one stone, because we'll do Universal Studios during the day, we'll do Knott's Berry Farm during the day, then we'll do Knott's Berry Farm during the night, and Halloween Horror Nights during the night. So even, who knows, maybe even mix in Warner Brothers the backstage tour. A lot of things that we really are planning for, and we hope to give you the most amount. Also, and I'm just going off the top right now. Another thing is these type of videos, sitting down, not necessarily the live streams, even though I do want to add more live streams. I was doing like a weekly live stream before, and I've kind of slowed down on that just because I've been doing more of the on-the-go videos. But I want to do more videos inside of the studio. There's a whole nother end to my studio that I've been working on, doing construction, got a new table. I have a standing desk and everything, and I'm not utilizing. So doing some more in-studio videos is something that I look forward to do in the new year. Let me stop really quick, read over some of the comments. I see the Pew 2, I crushed it in 2022. Man, I worked really hard in 2022. And I think you and a lot of my friends did as well. And I appreciate the support you've given me throughout the years since we've known each other. Skylar, and if I record with my GoPro, will that be okay? Sure. Yeah. If you film and catch me in it, I don't mind. I'll even say hi on the video if you wanted me to, and if you want me not to be in your video because I'll ruin it, I'll stay out of it too. Kevin Smith, Six Flags, Hershey Park, ? Oh, so you haven't been to Hershey Park, I'm assuming, Kevin, but Six Flags you didn't enjoy. So I've heard negative stigma around Six Flags as well, but it's a park that's close to me. It's additional content that you guys could come and experience with me for my first time in a while, because I've been to the park before. It's just been a really, really long time. Just down and about Dollywood, woohoo! I know you've been to Dollywood plenty of times, Don. But unfortunately, I have never been to Dollywood. Busch Gardens fan Randy, Dollywood is a must. I know that for a fact. I've seen all of you guys who cover theme parks do your Dollywood videos. Just out and about, I've seen your Dollywood videos. The Pew 2 did an amazing Dollywood video, and when they went there, they had this cool light display in the sky, something I really want to see, but I really want to eat there. That's a really big thing that I want to do. And I also want to get a cabin in the woods at Dollywood. My favorite for Dollywood are Wild Eagles and Lightning Rod. I hear Lightning Rod is amazing. Oh my God, I heard the food in Dollywood is amazing. Yeah, I've heard the food in Dollywood is amazing too, and they have some like amazing like cinnamon bread. All right, so guys, we're gonna keep it moving. So we're getting through the haunt season. To wrap that portion up, you already know the events that I've done, and those events will continue to remain the same, but we look to add a lot more this year. Last year it was tough. I feel like in 2021 I actually did a lot more haunt coverage every single weekend going to the parks. This year I look to do a lot more of that as well. Getting more content throughout the weekends over at some of our local haunts like Busch Gardens, but also some of the local small haunts. This year I didn't get to do Sir Henry's either. So yeah, a lot of things that we need to get back to, a lot of new things that we need to add. Then we transition to the wintertime. This year, for the first time ever, we did winter, or I guess the holiday times over at Universal Studios. And guys, I had a blast filming those videos for you. If you haven't seen them, please go check out my Universal content. I've done plenty of it throughout the past like couple months, covering Halloween Horror Nights, covering their holidays over at Universal, and all those videos are made informative. So there's plenty of things that if you want to know, like for Halloween Horror Nights, if you want to know what a RIP tour is like and whether or not it's worth it, I did a whole video about that. If you want to know what opening night of Halloween Horror Nights is like with an Express Pass and whether or not Express is worth it, I did a video about that this year. What else did I do a video about? Oh yeah, if you want to know what the behind the Screams tour is like at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, I did a video about that. So if you're looking at planning an event or planning a trip to Universal Studios or planning a trip to any of these events, I've done several videos that are informative videos to help you plan for your trip. So hopefully you guys can go check those out. If you find them informative, make sure to share those with your friends who may find them also beneficial. Ask them to like, comment, and subscribe if they enjoy the content. That's all I ask. It doesn't cost you guys anything, and the support goes a really long way to keep the channel going. This year, I'm looking forward to getting past that 5,000 subscriber mark. So, I appreciate you guys greatly. But we also did the holidays at Universal Studios and whether or not they were worth it as well. Which, spoiler alert, they were worth it. I had a great time. But then comes the winter time. We went to Universal Studios this year. Next year, I hope to make that another short trip to Universal Studios, checking out their holiday event. But I hope to mix in this year Disney, a little bit more Disney during the holiday time. If I could get Disney during their not so scary Mickey Halloween party, that would be awesome too. But it's kind of hard to get tickets for that. But if I can, I will. Epcot is a park that I want to visit. This is something that I don't have necessarily planned, but throughout the year, at some point, I want to go check out Guardians of the Galaxy and Ratatouille. And then for the wintertime, Busch Gardens Williamsburg has their Christmas Town. We'll definitely be heading to that. Kings Dominion Winterfest, amazing, spectacular event. We also did a video about the top 5 things that you could do at Winterfest when enjoying Winterfest, so a guide to Winterfest. We look to do all of that, and that kind of wraps up the year. And I kind of sped through it. We're only in the beginning of the year, so what the best part about all this, guys, is that we have a lot of content to cover. I was thinking that this video was going to be, or this live stream was going to be really short, because I wasn't going to have too much to talk about. But the more I talked, the more I noticed, there's a lot that's coming up this year, a lot that we're looking to add to the channel. The more that we could add so that you guys could enjoy and come along for the adventure with us, the more that we'll do. And the more support that we get, the the likes, the comments, all that fun stuff is going to really help support the channel. I do get a little bit of money off the views and subscriptions and all that stuff. I don't know how the algorithm works for the payout, but the more people that tune in, the more people that watch, the more they push out my video, the more likely that it'll do better, and it helps fund some of these trips. So guys, if you can help a brother out, I really appreciate all you guys. I know everybody on here does support me, and goes out of their way to jump on at 8 o'clock to chat with me. So I'm going to jump on now to the chat. If you guys have any questions, any particular maybe suggestions that you guys have for the year, things that you may want to see me do. I've had a couple of people comment and say that they want me to go to Six Flags. I know that Kevin, you kind of said, Six Flags, but a lot of people have been asking. So, if enough people ask, I'll definitely try to add it to the channel and try to make the most of the content so that it's beneficial for you guys. And maybe I eliminate Six Flags from your list of potential go-tos, whether you're on the fence of going or not. So yeah, hit me in the chat. We've got the year, the outline, and we'll see how that materializes. If you guys have questions about places that I'm going, or why I'm going to a certain place, or any recommendations that you would like, or recommendations that you would like to make, let me know. Let's see. Cody, hey, what's up? Hey, Cody, how's it going, man? Big, I'm going. Have you heard about the Busch Gardens drop tower? Yes, mock tower closed down, gone. From what I hear, mock tower is going to be replaced by a food venue. Oh, and one thing I failed to mention, and I believe it's coming this summer, so probably sometime like June time. It's gonna be Dark Coaster. I think we kind of skimmed over it, but Dark Coaster is something that I'm looking forward to, and fingers crossed we actually get media for it, because they did a big media event for the announcement of Dark Coaster and the construction, kind of like a hard hat tour, and I didn't get to go. Not salty about it, it is what it is, but hopefully this time around for the opening of Dark Coaster, we'll be able to go and get you some behind the scenes early feedback of the ride. I'm excited for that ride. It's going to be a ride that you can ride year round, not have to worry about the weather. Sounds like a great year ahead. Have fun, and looking forward to tagging along. Yeah, hey, we ran into to each other at the parks a couple times, and it's always a blast hanging out with you guys. So if I see you, we'll definitely get some vlogging in together, some rides in together, or whatever we're doing. We'll enjoy it together. Get some shows in. The Pew 2. What are you most looking forward to covering in 2023? Good question. I appreciate that question too. In 2023, I gotta say, I'm a sucker for Halloween Horror Nights, so I always love to see what's coming to Halloween Horror Nights, and as it stands, we don't know what this year has to hold. But that being said, that's kind of like the cop-out answer. I think more than anything, just new adventures. If I could get myself out to the West Coast this year and do Knott's Berry Farm for their haunt, so Knott's Scary Farm, and do Knott's Berry Farm during the day, that will be a year, a successful year for me. I think if we actually end up planning the year well enough that I get out there, that means a lot of other things will have come to fruition as well. Because that's one that I've planned for every year, and it hasn't come to fruition. If that comes to fruition, that means that other things also came to fruition. So I guess for 2023, covering Knott's Scary Farm would be goals this year. Thanks for the question. I appreciate that one. Busch Gardens fan Randy, LOL. What are you LOLing? Big, I'm going. Can you go to Family Kingdom, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina? I've never heard of it. Because you brought it up, I'm going to search it right now. Family, what's it called? Family Kingdom, Myrtle Beach. I already like it because it has Kingdom in the name, and King's Dominion is a park that I have quite a love for. Where did it go? Family Kingdom, Myrtle Beach. The Pew 2, yeah, you got to go do that. It's so good. You went this year to Not Scary Farm, right? I believe I saw your video at Not Scary Farm, or am I imagining that? Dustin Jackson, hey Dustin, any plans to visit Carowinds or Kings Island? So Carowinds for sure. Carowinds is actually not that far from my home, so Carowinds an easy one to add, and Carowinds is also now year round, I believe, just like King's Dominion. And I'm a platinum pass holder, so these are parks that easily I could go. Well, not easily. I take that back. I could go to without them being too much more of an expense. Hotel would probably be the only thing if they're not a day trip type of park. But yeah, Kings Island is one that I'm looking at working into the schedule. Probably gonna focus more on covering Cedar Point, just because there's a lot going on there with the ride, and then it's kind of like the mecca of roller coasters, and I haven't been able to ride them all. But Kings Island is definitely on the list, and mostly since it's the big brother park to King's Dominion. Okay, Family Kingdom Amusement Park. Okay, I'm gonna have to write this one down and do some more research. But thanks for the idea. Myrtle Beach is actually not too far from me, so that could be a nice piece of content without going out of my way too much. Busch Gardens. Oh, Randy Media invites. Oh, that's what you were laughing at? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of change going on over at that team, but for the most part, I appreciate them. Their Howl-O-Scream media event this year was actually pretty awesome, and I got to take my mom. So that whole entire video was bringing my mom to Howl-O-Scream for her first time, and it was her first time ever watching me do what I do on the channel, like behind the scenes. She was actually like, giving me a bunch of compliments and telling me, I had no idea how much went into creating these videos, which was awesome. I mean, it made me feel warm inside to see her enjoying it, and then kind of have a newfound appreciation for what goes into my little hobby. Matthew, hey Matthew. Carowinds and King's Dominion is 4 hours. Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah. So Carowinds is like 4 hours away from here. I did a trip to it last year. Had a blast. The roller coasters at Carowinds. What is it? What's the? Oh man. Their biggest coaster there. The name escapes me. Something 325. Fury 325. That coaster. It is such an intense looking track layout with a 325-foot drop, but man, is it smooth. Such a re-rideable ride. It is smooth. I could ride that coaster back to back. It's an amazing coaster. And then Intimidator is another amazing coaster. Super smooth. The ride vehicle is amazing. I can't say enough good things about the rides over at Carowinds. There are a couple rides over at Carowinds that are a little bit rough. But overall, it's a hell of an experience. We were there for Mardi Gras, and the event was done spectacularly. And to be at a park that you could cross between North Carolina and South Carolina, basically half the park is in South Carolina and half the park is in North Carolina, is another pretty cool and unique experience. Awesome video. Randy, awesome video, and your mom was awesome. Thanks, Randy. I appreciate that. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a lucky guy, blessed and appreciative. What do you wish Busch Gardens would replace Mock Tower with, if anything at all? Um, it'd be nice to say that the plot of land where Mock Tower is would be sufficient to add a new cool ride, but that's not going to be the case. Um, it's going to be a food establishment, so I look forward to seeing how the food establishment does. Um, but I would love a new ride. But we do have Dark Coaster coming, which I think Dark Coaster is kind of a filler coaster. It does sound like Busch Gardens has potentially a big coaster announcement coming soon. There's been some rumors in the mill about what's going on over at Busch Gardens, and if Busch Gardens gets another big coaster, geez, that park is gonna tear it up because they just got Pantheon, which is an amazing coaster, probably the closest thing to a Velocicoaster without the theming that I've experienced. The Pew 2, yeah, we did Unreal. Yeah, I thought so. I thought I saw your video. Yeah, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about Knott's Berry Farm. Matthew, Fury is your number one favorite ride. I can imagine. I mean, when it comes to coasters, Fury is up there. Dollar General. I love the name. Do you like the Verbolten in the back or the front? Verbolten back. Riding Verbolten in the back is probably the best. Matthew, Grand Carnival. Ah, you're right. That's what it was. It was Grand Carnival. Fireball. Hey, Fireball. I heard the Busch Gardens was getting a new roller coaster. That's what I hear too. I hear they're getting a new roller coaster. If so, geez, man, they're putting a lot of money into that park, given that they just had Pantheon. And I hear this new coaster that they're getting is supposed to be an intense one too. It's not like a slouch coaster. Obviously, they have like kind of the family friendly filler coaster that's coming, which is Dark Castle, which I think is not to be slept on. But for them to be getting another coaster, that'll be like 3 coasters within a 3-year span if another coaster is announced and comes out like in the next year or two. Alrighty, guys, the questions are slowing down. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit more. It's 9 o'clock. We've been on here for an hour. I really do appreciate all you guys jumping on and chatting with me. Rewatch this. I'll post it on the channel if you guys are wondering what we talked about and jumped on late or weren't able to catch everything. Steeler Wayne, Eddie, do you think Busch Gardens will be able to get Roman Rapids up and running this year? I really hope so. So funny enough, Steeler Wayne, I been to Busch Gardens how many times now? You've seen the videos on the channel, and I hadn't even noticed Roman Rapids up till I noticed that it was closed. So I'm hoping that they do. I know that area back there has been closed down for a while though, so I'm holding my breath that they're not doing away with it and they bring it back. It would be nice to have like a second water ride over at Busch Gardens. Well, I guess it would be a third. Dustin Jackson, when is the next live chat? I'll try to do another one within the next couple weeks. So maybe within the next 2 weeks. If I have something good to talk to you guys about next week, I'll try to do one next week. If not, in the next 2 weeks. I'll try to keep them coming. I enjoy chatting with you guys. Dollar General. Once again, I love that name. The new roller coaster episode is in 2020. Did it say episode? Yeah, episode is in 2024. Would be made by RMC. You're talking about Busch Gardens? Hope all is well. I wanted to stop and say hello. Fireball, everything is amazing. Thank you so much for jumping on and saying hi. It's been a while since I've seen you on the live chat, but you're one of the originals. You've been around since I probably had less than 100 subscribers. Dollar General. When will you think they're going to be due to the old Da Vinci Cradle? Will they add a new ride? You're talking about Da Vinci's Cradle. Oh, at Busch Gardens? Yeah. Um, I don't know. That was a ride that I always like kind of skipped over. So, um, I'm trying to think of what that area as far as space offers, but I can only imagine it's not a big area, so it's got to be a small family friendly ride that they would probably replace it with. You know, once Dark Coaster comes up, that could be like a small little filler announcement that they have while we're waiting for that next big coaster. Matthew, you should try the new aeronautic landing at Carowinds this year because it's opening in March 10th. I did 32 times Carowinds and 22. Oh yeah, I did hear that Carowinds is getting a whole new area. Yeah, that might be something I do. It's only 4 hours away. I mean, it's a distance, but it's not that bad. KK, hi. Looks like I missed this one, but I'll try to catch the next. Yeah, you missed it, KK, but thank you so much for jumping on. Make sure to check this one. I'll post it on the channel so that you could check it out after the fact. Anything that you missed. Basically, we just talked about what's coming to the channel for this year, what you guys could expect as far as coverage, and what we have in the plans. I know you could do it. I knew you could do it, my friend. So proud of you. I hope your numbers will continue going up. Thank you so much, Fireball. I mean, I'm working on it. With your guys' support, I will continue to work my way up the YouTube subscribership and hopefully get myself to pass that 5,000 mark this year. Moved to North Carolina from Texas. Which parks should I go visit first? All are 4 hours away from me. Busch Gardens, Kings Dominion, or Carowinds. Been 13 years since I rode any coasters. Brent, so all of them are 4 hours away from you. That's pretty crazy. If it's been a while since you've ridden a coaster and you want to ride some intense coasters, the most intense ones that you're going to find outside of Intimidator 305 at Kings Dominion are going to be at Carowinds. And Carowinds is super cool. It's where the Carolinas meet, so it's in between North and South Carolina. And Fury 325 is a spectacular coaster, so is Intimidator. So those are two coasters that you could ride that are pretty amazing. Kings Dominion is my local park, which I frequent the most. It's about like 30-40 minutes away from me. And they have Twisted Timbers as well as Intimidator 305, which is probably one of the most intense coasters in the nation, if not the most intense coaster in the nation. So really depending on what you're looking for. But if I had to say between Carowinds, Kings Dominion, and Busch Gardens is probably the most beautiful of the three as far as like sightseeing and the landscape. Kings Dominion is probably a close second to that because it also has really nice, beautiful, like lush landscaping and flowers and all that fun stuff. But they all have such good things to offer. Busch Gardens has Pantheon, Kings Dominion has Twisted Timbers and Intimidator 305, and Carowinds has Fury and Intimidator. I'm kind of circling around that either one of them would be probably a pretty good choice. I guess the best answer I could give you there is plan to check them all out. But maybe start off with Carowinds since it's in the Carolinas and you now live in the Carolinas. Thanks for the question, Brent. Alrighty, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I appreciate all you guys jumping on. Hope you're excited for everything that's coming on the channel this year. We definitely will be keeping in touch. Like I said, I'll be doing some more lives. So in the next 2 weeks, I'll jump back on here so that we could chat. So stay tuned. And there'll probably be plenty of content in between now and then as well that's coming to the channel. So make sure to check that all out. Go check out some of my old content. Well, it's not old. My recent content over at Universal. We did some guides to Universal, some guides to Halloween Horror Nights, some guides to their holiday events. Make sure to check all those out. Maybe they could help you plan for the latter end of this year some cool things that you want to do. And those are events that you definitely want to plan for in advance. They can be fairly expensive, so the sooner you start planning, the sooner you start booking, the less you'll pay. Or you could just pay it down slowly now up to the end of the year. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one. But don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained? And now I gotta awkwardly look over here to end the stream.